Well guys, we're back. More baking hacks. Because apparently I can't get enough of them. Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome in general. Today we are back in the kitchen. We are back testing out some baking hacks because, you know what? Valentine's Day is basically around the corner. I mean, it's not even February yet, is it? But I feel like for me, at least, Valentine's Day is just another excuse to do more baking. And you guys know how I feel about baking. Let's dive into hack number one. And this one is one around brownies. And we are going like full on in the testing of this particular hack. This one comes from Alton Brown that I found online. It came from one of his recipes in particular, but I want to test it out in a bunch of different ways. And essentially in his recipe for brownies, he does sort of this split time brownie cooking. So you basically cook the brownies for 15 minutes, you take them out for 15 minutes, put them back in for 30 minutes, and then take them out, let them rest for 30 minutes, and then you can cut into them. And so I'm kind of curious, like, is that gonna make a difference in texture and taste versus just like baking them through for 30 minutes, like straight as I would normally do for brownies? And what I was really curious about is if I could apply this particular hack to like boxed brownies. Let's say you don't have time to make Alton's very involved, like I have all the ingredients all laid out. It's very involved brownie recipe. Let's say you just want to make the box kind. Will this hack make them better? So we're making 4 sets of brownies so we can compare and contrast versus the full bake time, split bake time, boxed, and Alton's recipe. And I just want to see where the comparisons lie, if this particular hack makes these brownies better. Does it make a difference at all? Like, do you need to do it just for Alton's recipe? I don't know. So let's start with the split time brownies, both Alton's recipe as well as the box variety. That way I can kind of get the timing going for those. And while those are like resting and cooling, I can kind of get started on the next round and then pop those in. And hopefully I can get the timing right. And for this, pretty sure I need to stand. I don't want to stand though. Standing feels like work. Baking shouldn't be work, right? Right. All right, we're back. I'm standing. We have Francesca. Come on. Her name's clearly Francesca. Like her full name is Francesca Sinead. That way we've kind of combined both of them. And then if she's just really not doing it for me, I can middle name her. You know you're in trouble when you get middle named. Francesca Sinead! I have Alton Brown's recipe up on my phone right here. They are called Cocoa Brownies 2.0. So first things first, we are going to beat 4 eggs for 2 to 3 minutes until they are fluffy and light yellow. My 4 eggs right here. Let's crack them in. So I'm gonna let these go for like 2-3 minutes until they're looking good. In the meantime, I need to combine white sugar, brown sugar, and natural cocoa powder. He's specified in particular natural. I had Dutch processed. I don't know how they're different, but apparently they are. And combine those in a bowl that I am then going to add to the fluffy eggs. Got to make them nice and fluffy, you know? All right, we got some nice like fluffy eggs right here. So now I'm gonna add in this dry mixture, which I forgot to mention, has also flour and salt. Those are important. Look at that. Oh, that is looking good. And then to this, we are gonna add in some melted butter, which I am currently in the process of melting, and also some vanilla. We're gonna mix it all together until it is, in his words, a nice smooth goo. First, I'm gonna do a little scrapey scrape down the sides here. Make sure we get everything nice and incorporated. And of course, this recipe is gonna be delicious, and like it's probably gonna be better than the one you can get out of a box. But I'm really curious how different it is with this like baking technique. Ooh, she is a thick beata. All right, it's looking smooth and gooey to me. It's the best day. I say that for every baking video, and I don't care. I'm making four things of brownies. I had a thought on how I want to best make these, because really the whole point of doing these hacks is to see if I can make box brownies better, right? And I have to have some sort of comparison basis. By the way, I'm using Betty Crocker because that's what was at my store. And what I need to add to these are eggs, vegetable oil and water, and then the powdered mix. So my thought is, what if I made them in a similar preparation to what I did with Alton's? I'll beat the eggs first, make them nice and fluffy, add in the powdered ingredients, and then in the wet ingredients. Well, like, will that make a difference too? I don't know. I'm kind of excited. So I'm gonna make 2 boxes of the brownies. One is gonna go in for the full 30 minutes. The other one's gonna be split timed, but I'm gonna do it all at once because I need then grand total of 2 eggs. And I feel like that's the only way I'm gonna get like fluffy eggs. I'm not gonna get fluffy, like just beating 1 egg, you know? Unless I did it by hand, but I don't wanna do that. So first up, Eggos. And I didn't, by the way, double Alton's recipe, only because I was worried that it was gonna like overflow my mixer. We're gonna, again, beat these for 2 to 3 minutes. So I took all of the powdered brownie mix and poured it in with all of the eggs, threw in the water and the vegetable oil, mixed it all together. Now we're gonna put them into our prepared pans here. Christopher, are you gonna taste test brownies with me? I need some help.
I'm happy to help with brownies.
All right, getting ready to put these into the oven. So this is the Alton recipe, and then this is the boxed variety. Obviously a very big difference in terms of texture, being that this one is much more like soupy versus this one is very thick. It looks like I already iced it. All right, they are out. They have cooked for 15 minutes. You wouldn't know it by looking at this one, but it has been cooked. This one is starting to get a little bit crispy around the edges, though still pretty doughy. So we're gonna leave this out for 15 minutes and then back in it goes for another half hour. All right, so we just took these out of the oven. I checked the internal temperature of the Alton ones, and they are reading like just around 173 and they have to be 195. This is up at 200, so I'm gonna leave these out just to see if the temperature reading is important for this particular recipe versus this one. All right, so we have all the brownies out. They are cooling over there. You can kind of see them on the side. And they all came up to the internal temperature that Alton had, which was 195. I thought in the meantime, we'd go on to hack number 2, which is icing. Also making myself a nice tea. So this hack states that if you take granulated white sugar, you add some cornstarch to it, blend it up, you will get a substitute for icing sugar, like powdered sugar. And so I thought it'd be interesting to not only just make that up and then compare them side by side, taste, texture, everything, but also make 2 separate buttercreams, see if it actually works in a recipe, and then use that to ice the brownies. Also gonna be using the buttercream recipe. I've been doing some research on these Russian piping tip things, because you guys say they're really, really good. So I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try it again. No promises they'll look good, but I do wanna give them another go. So let's start by looking at the white sugar versus the powdered icing sugar. Obviously the granules in the white sugar are much larger, more of that crystalled kind of texture to it versus a very soft, once it's sifted anyway, powder of the icing sugar. So now we're gonna grab my NutriBullet. I'm gonna dump in the sugar and then a tablespoon of cornstarch. Let's blend it up. What do we have here? Oh! It full on looks like icing sugar.
No way.
Look at it. Was not expecting that. That's so cool. Okay, for real though. Which one's which?
Yeah, see, I did not expect that to work.
Isn't that crazy? I'm just setting up to do all the icing and I figured I might as well taste it just like on its own. So I did a little pinch test of each, and definitely powdered sugar is the finest of all of them. All right, I'm back. I have icings, I have brownies. I'm also to the side because Chris is gonna try stuff with me. Do you remember which one is which of the icings?
No, I wasn't around when you did.
Oh, you didn't see the icing? Okay, so then this will be good. Dun, 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 dun.
It's grainy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
I hope that's not the icing sugar one.
That would be bad, wouldn't it?
Completely different.
That's not even kind of close.
No. Which one is which? Yeah.
Oh.
See, like, it's...
Not even close.
It looked right.
Yeah.
Yeah. After you pulsed it and then made it into buttercream, did you put sand in it? I didn't think it was going to work. And then you did the blending and it looked great.
It looks so good.
Deceptive.
I mean, we're still going to pipe with it because I have.
What else could you do with icing sugar other than make buttercream or make frosting?
You could dust with it.
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah.
That might work.
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't really matter if it's like slightly grainy, right? I mean, I'm still going to do this, but first we need to taste test brownies.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Hang on.
Christopher. ever.
Back to Chris Morocco, this thanks benefit.
Yeah, been a boy.
Yep.
It's that or Batman, so.
Wait, we have a Batman one?
That's what Chris Morocco, he has like a full plethora of them. Right. You can't see, I'm gesturing. So, 4 different brownies in front of you. Mm-hmm. There are 2 different baking time methods, and there are 2 different recipes.
Right.
For brownies. You like the middle part of the brownie, right?
Yes.
Versus the outside. I like the outside.
Ugh.
It's the best part.
Incorrect.
Okay, ready?
Oh, that's just not... It's just not a good brownie.
He's already judging it. He doesn't even try any of the other ones. Okay, so that's 1.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
This is the second one. Can you tell the difference?
There was a difference, yeah.
There is a difference. Okay.
Absolutely. The idea behind the method is to make it, more moist and fudgy?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one was more fudgy.
Oh, and that is the split time one.
Yeah, it was very different.
Really? Oh, yeah. That's so interesting.
And for the record, not pleasant.
Not pleasant though.
No, that was
fudgy
not
but
good.
Bad.
Yeah,
bad fudgy.
That was not good. That was a bad brownie. The second one was, pretty good, reasonably good. Very different.
Okay, now I'm curious. Hold on, I need to try this. I'm gonna get the same amount. This one's more gluey. That's the biggest difference to me.
Yeah, his method isn't for box brownies, so it's possible it just doesn't work and it's not meant to work.
I just lifted it and tried to adapt.
Yeah.
Though I will say that this is better than just making the box brownies the way I would have normally, which is just like dump all the ingredients together. I feel like this was better because of the method in which I did with like eggs first, then the powder, and then oils and stuff. So like that's nice.
Yes, that was a very serviceable brownie. Don't do this though.
That was bad. Alton time. Here we go. Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm scared. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Much prefer the second one.
All right. That is the split time one.
I was about to say, the first one was very airy, cakey. You definitely got the fudginess in, but it was the right amount, not that gluey bottom. Wow.
That's so interesting. All the way through.
That's not fudgy. That's more cakey and airy and, I don't know, dry? Yeah, it's not good. Like, I was concerned.
Powdery, but not powdery. It's like mud.
Like a raw cocoa powder kind of flavor.
Wow.
I don't know, it was not good.
No. All right. And then there's this one.
It's night and day, right?
It's not, like, it doesn't even taste like the same brownie.
No, it's a completely different recipe. Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. Wow.
So, it turns out split time is only for this, or maybe for like homemade ones.
Well, now I'm wondering if I try like my normal recipe.
And split time it.
Yeah, and split time it. Because it sure didn't work for the box one.
No. Not even kind of a little bit.
Okay, is Alton's split time one better than my homemade brownies? Trick question, you love me.
It's not even close. Yours are better, I think. It's been a while since you've made me brownies though.
Ouch.
It's okay, you bought me your peppermint patties, all forgiven. This just has a darker chocolate taste.
Yes, it's more bitter. If you really like that bitter dark chocolate, and it's not even dark chocolate, it's cocoa powder, right? No. But somehow it really does come through. And now I'll bet if you frosted those with like an icing sugar frosting or something like that,
then it balances. All right, well, let's try that then. Right. Rosanna Pansino and her methods. Almost. She said to do it from a little bit of a distance away and just kind of like boop it.
I feel like you were very delicate with those first ones. I think it's like dough. It can smell your fear.
No, don't say that. That was way better.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one it's almost like a snowflake, but it's not quite. Will it come out though? What is that?
Whoa.
No, shh, it's fine. It's totally fine. This is why I have the icing pen, by the way.
I'll try a little of this, just for taste.
Yeah, this is like too grainy to even be piped properly. Like, look how grainy that is on there.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
I'm so obsessed. Can I try it with the icing now?
Yeah, it's
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a very thick brownie, and I feel like it's like very heavy. All right, so I'm gonna have to say that this, thumbs up, icing, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Now on to cookies. Can't be a video without cookies. All right, so cookie hacks. And this hack is basically taking a boxed cake like dry mix adding a couple of ingredients to it, and then you can adapt it and turn it into cookies, or so they say. And I've seen so many different variations on this, and I really just want to genuinely know how close it is to a cookie that I would make from home. Does it just taste like cake? Is it cake flavored cookie? Is the consistency the same? So rude. So I figured we'd make cookies from 3 different cake mixes and then compare it to my cookie recipe. Again, I don't expect them to be like exactly the same. I expect them to be very different, but I just want to know how different. And also, if these are good, which one is better of the 3 different ones that I could find. Let's do chocolate first.
And then the other flavor I got was like the funfetti like birthday cake one, and then like just straight up vanilla.
So all I'm gonna add to the dry cake mix, this is like the standard that I found across the internet, was eggs and vegetable oil. So obviously mine's pared down because I'm only doing half the amount of dry mix by weight. So I'm doing 1 egg and about 1/6 of a cup of vegetable oil. And then you just add them up and form them into cookies. Oh, also chocolate chips, because like it's a cookie. I'm gonna add chocolate chips to it. I'm genuinely very curious how close this is gonna be to cookies. I like how I'm like holding a fork out to the side, like I'm gonna like poke someone with it. Oh, that's fun. Good for me. Just got egg all over my kitchen. It's fine.
All right, this is what the dough looks like. I just separated out 4 cookies, a little bit shiny because of all the oil. They look good. They seem to form together like dough, so that's good.
I like how I went into full-blown auto mode and just like made the cookies and put them in the oven and didn't even tell you what I thought of the dough. Wow, you know you make a lot of cookies when. So on this tray, you can see I moved one of them over because I ended up doing 2 sheets. Anyway, so on this sheet we have the chocolate as well as the vanilla. Of the 2, I would say that the chocolate feels the most like a chocolate, like a cookie. This one felt very sticky and tacky, and it has this really strong like artificial vanilla scent. She didn't love. And then over here we have the funfetti birthday cake ones as well as my recipe, and we're gonna all like bake them all up for about, I'm gonna start with like 8 minutes, I wanna say, and then I'm going to see where they're sitting at. Like mine will probably need a little bit longer, but like I haven't had like the birthday cake funfetti. I don't know what it's called. Like, is it funfetti? I don't even know. Is it a brand name? Are they not allowed to say that? But this one's giving me major like throwback vibes, and like I'm really excited about it. Let's put these in. I want to eat them.
All right, cookies are out of the oven. And I have to say, just based off of looks, these chocolate ones though, look at that, those like little cracks and crevasses. Right?
So I picked out one of each of the different flavors. Tried to pick out like the prettiest one. Oh, I got chocolate myself. Mine. I tried to pick out the prettiest one from each of the different batches. And I have to say, honestly, in comparison, my cookie does not look as good. She's not as cute. Just realizing now that these are oatmeal cookies, which is going to be very different in texture. But it's fine. It's fine. I don't know why it took me so long to realize this, but we're gonna move past that. So let's start with, you know what? Let's start with the one that I was probably the most excited about, which was the chocolate one. It looks like a really good cookie. Smells like cake, but I'm all right with it. Let's break open this guy. It's not as gooey as I was hoping, but that's okay. That's okay. It could still taste good. Okay, I was excited at first because the crunch on the outside, like the shell, plus the chocolate chips, just gives it this nice like cookie-like consistency. But the inside it tastes like cake mix. It was not terrible, but I don't think I would make it again. All right, let's compare that to the, what is this, the vanilla one? It's very golden on the bottom here, but very, very light colored on top because it doesn't have any like butter in it. And there were recipes out there that took like, I feel like I have chocolate all over my face. I did see some recipes out there that took some cake mix and then combined it in with a lot of other like cookie related ingredients like butter and sugar and baking powder and all these different things. But I felt like that was just making cake flavored cookies, you know, like I wanted to see if the actual cake mix could be transformed with like minor changes. Because I mean, if I was just gonna add flour and granulated sugar and baking soda and all these different things, I would just make cookies. All right, let's try this one. Oh. No. Vanilla one's the worst one so far, everyone. Now the fun rainbow one. It's cute, right? Okay, you know what? Weirdly enough, that one's not bad. I don't know why. To me, this one should taste exactly the same as the vanilla cake in theory, right? I don't know, it just tastes different. And then on to my very flat looking cookie, but clearly the most cookie-like, but I want to eat a bite because I want a cookie, but also I want to compare like what is the biggest difference that I'm noticing. Honestly, I think it's the butter. I feel like the richness of the butter is just giving so much complexity to these cookies, and it just makes all the difference versus like a vegetable oil. It just has more depth of flavor. You don't get that like stale vanilla or artificial flavors at all. It's just more well-rounded. In terms of the consistency, I would say that, you know, these do have like a pretty appealing, like cookie-like consistency, like slightly more cake-like. They're a little bit fluffier, but they don't have that same like aerated kind of a consistency that cake does. So did the hack work? Yes, but I would say that the flavor leaves a lot to be desired. I'm not really feeling it. It's not something that I would personally make again. I did want to like these though, because they look real pretty, like really pretty. I'm sad. Okay, now I have a request from you guys. I was wondering, for a video, I would really love to test out some of your favorite baking or cooking, kitchen-y kind of hacks. If there are any out there that you swear by that are fantastic, that you love, leave them down below. Because they're so full of so much knowledge, and I just want to play around with some of your favorite hacks and like learn some stuff. Because 2020 is the year that I'm gonna get better at cooking, okay? I've made it my mission. Now I've said it out loud, so I can't go back on it. And I feel like I'm gonna learn a lot from you guys. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you all. Mwah!
You're number 2. Really?
Better, not good, but way better.
This is like opposite to my opinions. Is that the funfetti one?
Mm-hmm. That's funny because in consistency, this is by far the best one.
That one is the most like cookie-like.
The birthday cake one is edible though.
Yeah, I do like the
If you're gonna do it, do that.
Yeah, that one was tasty. I did enjoy.
Oh, it's fun looking too.
It is.
Better than you'd think, but still not